Alright guys, I'm putting a little bit more effort into this one because of my favorite fanboy, FaF Iam. I guess he deserves this considering he's given me, he used my masternode in order, while he became the #1 P3D holder, and you know, that was great and I'm really grateful, but you know, I keep saying videos and he brings up my name and then he kind of almost contradicts what I'm saying, so where energy goes, where focus goes, energy flows, and it's your fault here, buddy. So I want to show you something here real quick. This past weekend, I went to an art show, and these here are orders that I'm filling out. These are prints that I sold, and here's a finished print that I display to show what I do. This is La Jolla. You can't see anything because it's a reflection. Here's a local community on a canvas called Hillcrest. This is my artwork. I print, frame, sell, and ship. I have a relationship with FedEx. Here's one that's coming to pick up. This is a big print somebody ordered. They want to pick up. They want to frame it themselves. More art that I've done. Okay, now here. This is my face mount creator. This is the chopper, the miter chopper. It's actually a guillotine that chops wood to make my frames. And here's the joiner. Here's a table that I work on. Here's another table. Here's all the hardware I use. More storage. Those were some fucked up situations. I still hold the boxes for a bunch of rigs I built with a fucking stupid lawyer who fucked me over. Yeah, I like to ride bikes, photo gear, paint and stuff. So anyways, I did all that to let you know that crypto is not, well, I'll show this room another time. Crypto is not how I make a living. Crypto is something I'm investing in. I'm investing in crypto. I'm not using it to live off of it, and this is kind of what I want to get to. FaF Iam, you're under this conviction that you're just going to give everybody through some huge charitable donation a universal basic income. And I find that to be a very collectivist mentality, and I'm very individualist. And for some reason, as a collectivist, you see me as somebody who's in pain. And I kind of want to explain something to you. With your energy, look what it did. I found this article. And it's essentially, I'll just say the title, and I'll read some of it because it's pretty. There's a study. Climate change activists are fucking hypocrites. It doesn't say fucking. But anyways, strange things happen. I'm going to read this, so this is going to be a long one, guys. A strange thing happens when you don't trust the government. You take responsibility for your actions instead of shirking your duty and handing off the burden to the collective. So this is about individualism versus collectivism. I long suspected this. People assume the government will actually do what it says it will. If you think your tax dollars will feed the hungry, house the homeless, and provide for the poor, why bother donating to charity? If you have done your part, it comes down to differences in the collective versus the individualist philosophy. Collectivists favor a top-down approach. Individualists, on the other hand, value freedom and don't want the collective to force its will on people. So an individualist values the principle of personal freedom, but they also may value, well, I'm not going to read that because I want to skip into this part right here. So a study by Cornell and the University of Michigan researchers found that those highly concerned about climate change were less likely to engage in recycling and other eco-friendly behaviors than the global warming skeptics. Published in the April edition of the Journal of Environmental Psychology, the one-year study broke 600 participants into 3 groups based on their level of concern about climate change. Highly concerned, group 1, group 2, cautiously worried, and group 3, skeptical. The highly concerned cluster was the most supportive of government climate policies, but the least likely to report individual-level actions, whereas the skeptical opposed the policy solutions, but were most likely to report engaging in individual-level pro-environmental behaviors, the researchers concluded. Conducting the study entitled Believing in Climate Change But Not Behaving Sustainably were Cornell's assistant professor Neil A. Lewis Jr. and University of Professor researchers Michael P. Hall and Phoebe C. Ellsworth. The skeptics were more likely than the highly concerned to recycle used public transportation and reusable shopping bags and buy eco-friendly products. Belief in climate change predicated support for government policies to combat climate change, but did not generally translate to individual-level self-reported pro-environmental behavior, said the paper. Why? Even the researchers were stumped, although it's possible that skeptics may place more emphasis on personal responsibility than government action. These results suggest that different groups may prefer different strategies for addressing climate change, said the paper. Thus, belief in climate change does not appear to be a necessary or sufficient condition for pro-environmental behavior, indicating that changing skeptical Americans' minds needs to be a top priority for climate policymakers. As Pacific Standard's Tom Jacob puts it, remember that conservatism prizes individual action over collective efforts. So while they may assert disbelief in order to stave off coercive, in their view, actions by the government, many could take pride in doing what they can do on a personal basis, said the poet. The authors note that changing people's minds is not necessary to change climate change, not necessary to address climate change. Individualists are actually doing their fair share to improve the environment, while collectivists are focused on bullying everyone into agreeing with them, but not actually doing anything. Forgive me. It's like right in your face. But not actually doing anything to help. I've written about this before. Blah, blah, blah. Personally don't want to rub chemicals all over my body. So the author says, I personally don't want to rub chemicals all over my body. So did I petition the government to strictly regulate what can and can't be put in hygiene products? No. I started making my own soap, toothpaste, and deodorant. Okay? So, you know, this all is motivated by a video I did where FaF asked me what would I do if I was the #1 P3D holder. And I explained to him I'd, do pretty much what I'm doing now. And then I asked him what he would be doing, and he patted himself on the back and he said, well, I am the #1 P3D holder. And he started talking about, at the end of my comment I said, nothing good is free. And then he instantly went on a paragraph-long diatribe, which he read on his last video, about how so many things in life are free. Surfing, riding waves, getting a hug, or all these wonderful things. And I'm like, dude, all the wonderful things in life, they don't come at a cost? Really? And this is what I find remarkable about the collectivists. The idea of a universal basic income, it's sickening, because at what point will anybody have the motivation to contribute? Like, dude, I mean, you shared with me what you do, and I just shared with you what I do. Now, if you were actually making a living at what you're good at, and you didn't gamble and now come up with this idea that you think is wonderful, I think you might have a different perspective on life. You're set, bro. You got a wad of cash. You can buy anything you want. You can't buy me, but nevertheless, you got more money. Please give it to me. I'd be happy to take it off you. But I just think that your philosophy comes from a very collectivist perspective that lacks any kind of endeavor. Like real sweat endeavor. Yeah, sure, you suffered. Yeah, I lived in my car. Ooh. But that doesn't really suggest that you actually busted your ass and earned your keep. And I'm not claiming that I do. Although I work harder than I ever have as an artist. You saw, I do all the manufacturing. My artwork, I didn't even show you how incredible and how painstaking it is to create each piece of my artwork. I work my fucking ass off. And I'm not suggesting that makes me any better than anybody. What I am suggesting is that if the world is gonna get better, it's gonna be on an individual basis. Collectivism is the reason we have the problems that we do in the world, because a small group of people lead a large group to collectively believe in whatever the small group is propagating. I like the idea that everybody hates me because now they're thinking about why they hate me, and they're thinking about what I'm questioning in their head. And I really do the same towards a lot of your dialogue, Homer. I really think that you remind me of all my stoner friends that sit around and watch. I'm a fucking stoner, yeah. But most of my stoner friends, they sit around and they fucking don't do shit. And I'm not saying that you don't do shit. I'm just saying your philosophy reminds me of my stupid stoner friends. And don't get me wrong, they know I'm fucking stupid. They constantly want to prove me wrong. And it's fun. I laugh, which upsets them and makes them more motivated, which is my goal. I really want people to think. That's the motivation of this channel, is to think. And to think about what you're doing. Because I really don't see P3D in the light you do. Because you gotta be a fucking moron to actually think that the distribution of the token is equivalent. You got to be a fucking moron to not think that Manso and Justo have a few hundred ETH waiting for the contract to get down to where it's almost worthless, and then you're gonna pump it up again, dude. These guys are not stupid. And to think that it's just gonna, through faith, make the world better, or it's gonna, through faith, go up and make like 80% of the people in the contract are probably underneath, including you. But you don't care because you obviously, but the other ones, they do. And your concern for helping them out isn't coming from a very logical place, in my opinion. So hopefully this can motivate you to think and not reach out to your demagogues and cults, and actually you can pull out something that would really suggest that what I'm suggesting isn't really well thought out. So this is a challenge to you, Holmes. I've talked way too much. And I really appreciate you watching. I love you guys. Thank you. And I gotta go make some more prints because I didn't show you the other orders I gotta fill. Hey, if you like this, please click like and subscribe. And if you don't, just be well, man. Just really be well.